Okay, let's go and jump to ranked games with the Reaper and see what we can do today. So we do start off with an armor and a relic case. So we do start off with a spear, which is going to be a lot of damage. I really do want to take it. I kind of want to take her health pot, but we're going to have a lot of armor. We could take the piggy bank to be a little bit greedy, which I'm down for. Let's take the health pot since you're on sale. And let's take the Water's Tusk. Let's roll once to try and find some storage, which we didn't get. But I kind of want to grab our wooden sword in the next round. Although, we start a Water's Tusk, we grab it right now. And do we be super greedy, keep our piggy bank in, or do we try to win by having our health pot in? I think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to put our piggy bank in and get 1 extra gold per round. Is definitely worth it, if we manage to win. And we do start off with almost triple our opponent's HP, but our spear should be able to deal massive damage. It does have a 3.7 DPS, compared to their 2.2 DPS. Except you are going to be blocking some of that damage with the wooden buckler. And during Battle Rage, they're going to get some lifesteal on their wooden sword. But they still haven't broken through our armor yet. Now they have healed up a little bit with their banana, but that spear is starting to deal massive damage thanks to our starter bag. And smashing. Now it's got to grab our storage. I kind of want to grab our shiny shell. We could craft up a shelly if you want it, or we could craft up a shell totem. I think I want to grab the steady healing herbs. And I really do want to roll, and that's another health pot which I'm going to have to grab. Also, I'd also love to craft up a strong health pot. I kind of want to grab another garlic. We could grab stones to craft up strong stone skill pots. So I think I'm going to take the stone, I think I'm going to take the garlic also. And might as well grab our pocket sand since it is on sale, but let's move on. 2 health pots in our storage is crazy not to put in. Definitely crazy. We've got tons of survivability, but we're keeping our little piggy bank in for a little bit more monies. Our shell doesn't do a whole lot for us. We've got a wooden sword to eat up our stamina a little bit more too. But with relic case, our stamina shouldn't be as bad. Especially without that banana. Now the Pyromancers are starting to break through our armor, but they only have 13 HP left. So I think we should be able, definitely, to win out. Holy moly, was it getting a little bit closer. But we did manage to win out. Now we do got 2 health pots. They only activate when we drop below 50% HP. We could take shielded since we already have a leather armor. We could also go for a false life type situation and just get tons of max life. You know what? I think we're going to take false life. We also got the wolf badge. We could end up going for a big old busted blade, but I'm not as interested in that as well. Now we could also try to go for staff on healing, which I haven't done in quite a while. Should we take it, or should we try to go for something a little bit different? I think I'm going to try to go for something a little bit different. It does require a whetstone, which I'm going to be taking as well. But at this point, I'm going to be crafting up a strong health pot. I kind of want to craft up a second one. So I think piggy bank might actually have to go. Now I do want to reserve banana because eventually we're going to need some sort of stamina generation. But it should be pretty good. We have tons and tons and tons of survivability. We should be able to overheal a small bit with a false life. And with a shell totem, we should be able to get a little bit of weapon damage, increasing our spear's damage. However, our opponent is stacking up a lot of spikes. They do have slime time for some heals as well. So we could still be in trouble. Definitely still be in trouble, especially when we have so much spikes. Spear is dealing about 7.3 DPS. We only managed to get 2 in power. And we have used both our health pots, just keeping us in it long enough for that fatigue to chip him down as well. We got 2 strong health pots. Let's grab the banana. I don't think you can be greedy and take another piggy bank. We could start stacking up a lot of coal also. I mean, if these were shellies, coal sticks, the snow sticks would have been really, really fantastic also. But let's grab more storage. I kind of want to take ourselves this customer card as well. Now, do we add in our garlic, or do we leave our spear to shred armor? I kind of like keeping it to shred armor, so I'm going to leave it like this. We could add a banana for a small bit overheal. But just in case we come across anybody rocking something like a leather armor, we should be able to get rid of it pretty quickly. But can we keep up with this adventure? They do have a shelly, they do have a boomerang to steal our buffs, which is not so great. They're going to be taking whatever in power we do stack up with our shell totem. But our spear is dealing some pretty decent damage, except for their shelly healing back to full. Now we still have 2 strong health pots. It is going to give us regen, but they're pretty much going to take the regen as well. We're back to full HP, and their shelly is about to proc again which might give the advantage. Actually, hold on a second. Our relic case has scaled up the damage on our spear. And just barely not enough. Now, we do have a choice to make. We could go straight on President's Flask, go poison stacking like absurd. If this was a normal poison flask, we could craft up poison spear. Otherwise, we take Little Chestnut, we grab storage, we sell the garlic to go ahead and grab you also. Elements of Alchemy is pretty much perfect. Now we can use our Little Chestnut to turbo stack Arm Power, which I'm really thinking that's going to be awesome. Otherwise, once we do proc our strong health pots, it's going to be a lot of regen stacking. But it will actually rely on getting our Shell Totem to activate first. Now we do start off with a little bit of luck, a little bit of heat, and a bit of empower thanks to our Elements of Alchemy. So it could actually be completely random in what we stack up. Now lucky enough, our Shell Totem does go off before our freaking Little Chestnut, and we're getting our empower stacked up to deal massive damage. Our health pot should be able to keep us healthy enough, and Little Chestnut has definitely came to the rescue. Awesome. Managed to take on that Reaper, no problem whatsoever. Now shield on sale for 6. I think about grabbing, along with a fanny pack to speed up both our Little Chestnut as well as our spear. Do we want the Corrupted Crystal? Do we want the Holy Armor? Holy Armor could give us a regen that we could stack up. Leather Boots I'm also kind of looking at, which I'm not entirely sure if I do want. Now the question is, do we want to go mana stacking? Because we could grab ourselves a Moon Shield. Piggy Bank to trade for a leather bag, I actually will take, because that costs about 4 gold anyway. I mean, the Shield of Valor mana stacking is just an incredibly strong build. So I'm going to have to take it. But is our Little Chestnut going to stack up in power? Our Little Shell Totem should go off. Giving us that in power, we should be able to stack it up a little bit faster, since we do have our Shield of Valor as well as a fanny pack. So we're going to get lots and lots of weapon damage. Our spear should be able to deal 16.6 DPS right now. So it's going to deal massive damage compared to our opponent's setup, except they are inflicting a lot of blind, which could be problematic, because our accuracy is going to be 60%. I mean, we're going to get a lot of misses. But can we still keep up? Because they have 90 HP. We still have our health pots still, and we have 25 in power. But not too bad. And we could get a lot of divine pots to cleanse those debuffs. Let's grab our mana orb. Let's actually grab a potion belt as well. And let's roll. Now we could straight up just get trades every round if we trade up our Elements of Alchemy. Because we get 25% chance for trades, we also get 30% chance, so that's 55%, 65%, and if we take another customer card, it could be a little bit more also. I kind of do want to keep our Elements of Alchemy though. Do you want the Demonic Flask? Not exactly. Do you want a set of blueberries? We could end up stacking up luck. I think I gotta take the set of blueberries. Because eventually we're going to stack up so much mana that having a set of blueberries to stack up our accuracy is going to be really awesome. The thing is, we're going to have a tougher time stacking up Arm Power. Especially that we started off with 2 regen along with some mana already. So Little Chestnut is going to go super fast stacking up our mana, which is a little less than ideal. Until we get ourselves a big mana orb. And we're starting to stack up some accuracy, but that's not going to be too fantastic going up against this ranger. But we're stacking up a little bit of power. Just a small bit, it's a lot less. Our DPS is going to be a lot lower. But we're about to get a big mana buff bomb still. However, it's not even close. Our opponent is crafting up that crossblades. Now we could also try to get Nocturnal Lock Lifter. That way we start off with a bunch of Vampirism, stacking up our Vampirism, stacking up a lot of Lifesteal. And this is exactly what I was actually wanting to do, especially with False Life. I do like taking Nocturnal Lock Lifter with False Life. Otherwise, we can get a Cauldron, get a bunch of Vampiric Pots, and stack up a bunch of Vampirism that way as well. But I think I'm going to take a Nocturnal Lock Lifter. And that is the Hunger Blade. Should we take it? I kind of want to keep our spear for a Holy Spear. So I'm going to take our fanny pack. I'm not going to take the Hunger Blade. I'm going to grab this small bit of storage to see what it's going to be. A second Elements of Alchemy. It's really nice. I'm going to continue to roll. We could have went for a Bloodthorn. I definitely want to grab this bit of storage. And I'm also going to speed up our spear along with a little chestnut with another fanny pack. But at this point, I'm going to sell this and potentially our stone to go ahead and grab another potion belt. Because we can speed up our little chestnut even further. In the box of riches, you know what, I'm going to grab it because we could end up getting some red gemstones to increase your healing efficiency. I think that's still going to be nice. So we do start off with a lot of vampirism. I'm hoping we stack up vampirism. We end up stacking up mana, which is not so great. Our opponent is going to be inflicting a lot of blind, which means we're going to be stacking up a small bit of luck with our blueberries to counteract that blind. Because if we don't hit, we don't lifesteal. We should be able to get some max life with our false life. We should be able to get some empower with our little shell totem. Stacking up our damage just a small bit. But they got a good bit of poison on us. They got a decent bit of blind. We still got quite a bit of heals. And smashing. Now we do got a choice. Poison Spear or Holy Spear. Well, I know what I'm going for. We're definitely going for Holy Spear. We could also win for a King's Crown. I do want to sell our little customer card, even though we're going to get some extra trades, but I do want to grab a second set of blueberries. And that way we scale up our accuracy just a small bit more. But can we take on this Berserker, rocking the Deerwood Guardian? They're going to stack up insane spikes. With the Spiked Bowl, with the Shepherd's Crook. They're also going to be pretty resistant to blind and cold. But they're going to get tons and tons of spikes. We get some invulnerability. And once we get our King's Spear, we should be able to cleanse some debuffs as well. However, we managed to get a ton of vampirism, which is kind of nice. A little bit better than stacking up our mana. We're starting to stack up a lot of max life. I do really want to add in a bunch of Paradise Barbs into our build to speed up our weapon insanely fast. However, our opponent is stacking up a lot of spikes, a lot of power. They did get their big mana buff bomb. Their battle rage is lasting for quite some time. But once their battle rage ends, we have pretty decent buffs that we should be able to win out. And awesome. Now, Holy Spear does make our little chestnut go even crazier. Now, we could go hardwood and go full all-in power stacking and just grab ourselves a wooden sword with a bunch of lifesteal. It would be pretty nice. Or we could take Power of the Moon, get a bunch of max life once fatigue starts, along with a false life. Nice little combo. It also reflects the debuffs with our Moon Shield. So I'm going to take that. We could trade our armor, which I'm not down for. Let's grab our box of riches. Let's go ahead and grab another fanny pack. And let's roll again. Now, anybody down for a round 2 katana? Another katana type build? Hell yeah, I'm going to be down for it. It does mean we're going to have to sell our little shell totem, unfortunately. But we can't really sell it this round. Yeah, we've got to take it in the next round. But Holy Spear is going to have such little stamina. It's going to cleanse debuffs. It's going to shred armor. Once we get a katana, we should be able to reduce our opponent's scaling damage, which is perfect with the shield as well. Which is going to be really, really nice. The Holy Spear is going to cleanse some of the blind, some of the poison our opponent is going to be inflicting also. So we should basically become a debuff immune. So the Holy Spear is going to be really, really nice, especially with the lifesteal also. It gives us invulnerability. We attack 100% faster during that invulnerability. So I use up our mana, which is kind of nice. But we are stacking up a lot of vampirism. I'd actually rather stack up our power, because then we get more weapon damage, and then with our Nocturnal Lock Lifter, we actually still heal up for quite a bit also. But still looking pretty good. Now the one item I do want to keep is the freaking Whetstone, but I also really want a bird. Now for also smarts, we could have went for heat stacking. If we take a bunch of ruby eggs, we can stack up a lot of heats. Now our little chestnut can make our weapon situation go crazy absurd also. But I do want to take a Ripsaw Blade. I do want to craft up this katana. We're going to set our little shell totem. And we're going to take our Maneki Neko, which is going to speed up our Holy Spear, our little chestnut, our katana, which should be amazing. The only problem is, it really would love to sit in this position also. But our Nocturnal Lock Lifter doesn't really like sitting in here. So we do got to switch this around just a small bit. So we switched around to be this side. We're going to have our Maneki Neko in this spot. So we should still be able to get a ton of speed on it. We should be able to cleanse those debuffs and shred that armor. We should be able to remove a lot of scaling damage. And we still have our Amulet of Alchemy in this spot also. I do kind of want to slightly move it up. Then we get our little chestnut to go even faster. But man, this Whetstone for a bird I'd love to take it, but we just can't afford to take it. Nocturnal Lock Lifter in the spot is going to give us our lifesteal. It should be incredible. We are facing a Snow Styx with the artifact Stone Cold. So we're going to be trying to inflict a lot of cold on us, but each time our spear hits, it's going to cleanse 4 debuffs. But every time the Snow Styx hits, they're going to inflict pretty much 6 debuffs. Maybe even a little bit more since they do have the puzzle bag of round 2. We have 700 max life, so it's looking pretty good for us. We cleanse a small bit of that cold. We got tons of lifesteal. So can we still win out? They're about to get a big mana buff bomb, which could be scary because they could end up getting a ton of buffs to help them win out. What am I saying? They have 20 max life, or 20 current life, while we have 700 max life. It's not going to be close whatsoever. Now our DPS is going to be incredibly low compared to if we didn't face a cold stacking build. But they would have had an insane amount of cold only for our Holy Spear. So our DPS was about 23 per second, while our opponent's was about 18. Now in terms of heals, we managed to get about 20 healing per second, which is going to shoot up once we get ourselves that katana. We managed to get 23 max life gain per second, which will increase once we do lifesteal as well. Now in terms of block, we got 74 block, which is an insane amount of block. Definitely not. Let's get going. We have 7 more rounds to go. We got a katana. We could trade up our little gemstone, which I'm down for. To grab a fanny pack, that's a big trade for us. Let's grab a small bit more lifesteal. We can grab a bit of luck, but how about we grab this? I was hoping for an Amulet of Life. Now I do want to grab you. I'm also going to grab this too to speed up our katana even more. Let's roll again. And we could take a demonic flask. But there's no real point in actually taking it, is there? Not exactly. So let's roll again. And there's our bird. We could trade up a strong health buff for another Maneki Neku. Am I crazy to do it? Hell yeah, I'm crazy enough to do it. So we have both our Maneki Nekus down in this spot. It's going to speed up our Holy Spear along with our katana, along with our little chestnut. We really do want to grab the bird. We also probably need to grab some gemstones to help with our stamina just a small bit also. But yeah, let's get going. Let's grab the bird to speed up our whole situation even more. And with 2 Maneki Nekus, a katana does trigger every 1.2 seconds. Along with a relic case triggered every 2 seconds to actually reduce the stamina cost and scale up the damage on our katana also. Now we do get invulnerability, allowing us to heal up allowing us to overheal. Just lost whatever I was trying to say. But we should be in a pretty good spot because we have 1000 max life, which is still going up. Our opponent did have a bomb to get rid of a lot of buffs, increasing the damage we do take. But I think it's not even going to be close. Definitely not. Since we cleanse all the freaking cold we're going to be inflicting. Awesome. Let's grab our bird. We're going to roll. And we do really want to grab ourselves this bloody amulet. Now the question is, do we want to craft up our vampiric armor? Or do we want to craft up a vampiric paw? I'd love to craft up a vampiric paw, which is exactly what I'm going to do first of all. Now I'm just trying to figure out where a bird really wants to sit. Because we could speed up both our weapons along with a little chestnut. I think this should be pretty decent for now also. Now I kind of want to grab ourselves a stamina stack. Just so we have a little bit more max stamina. I'm going to be venturing on. We do get a small bit more increased healing efficiency with our bloody amulet. I mean our weapons lifesteal just a small bit more. And this Amulet of Alchemy is in the worst position of all time. Definitely so. Now a little chestnut to stack up our vampirism is kind of nice. But we also kind of wanted to stack up definitely in power, but we're definitely not going to get in power. If we do get a big mana buff bomb, that is one way we can stack up a bunch of buffs as well, but I'm happy enough with vampirism for now. And taking on this ranger, awesome. The question I have is, do we want to take a glowing crown to craft up a king's crown also? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this bit of storage. And I do want to place in our mana orb in this place. Also, I do want to switch this to this side because I do want to craft up our vampiric armor as well. Now it does mean we kind of have to slot this over at this side. So we can get a little bit increased lifesteal on our weapons. So I don't think I'm going to take it. We could also take the toad to stack up a bit of luck, but I'm not as interested in it. We could grab a little blue gemstone. We're going to keep rolling. Another set of blueberries. But I think I just want to roll continuously. We do want to sell this little amethyst or emeralds to go ahead and grab ourselves a little bit more stamina. Now, fanny pack on sale, I'm going to grab, but let's get moving once again. Now I'm looking for a stone skill pod so we can activate this from the get-go, giving us more vampirism. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit more difficult to activate. But our opponent is going to be doing lots of damage with the Molten Greatsword. They have reduced a lot of our healing. But with our little red rubies, we actually bring that lifesteal up just a small bit. However, can we still keep up? Swan's fatigue kits, we did get our max life increase. And definitely the power of the moon, giving us a huge advantage going up against this Molten Greatsword. Which is kind of crazy. Now we're going to start off with 2. 8 vampirism. Should we try to go for heat? I think it's a little bit too late for heat, but heat would have been awesome as well by stacking up a super heated lifestealing katana. Let's just take our fanny pack for now. Eye lamp, not going to be taken, and I immediately grab my decision because that would have been 6 heat off the rip. Let's roll again. And we do get ourselves our prismatic orb, which I'm going to sell to take out because I really do just want to craft up our prismatic verb. That's going to give us more healing. It's going to duplicate our buffs. It's going to be incredibly fantastic. And I'm also looking at this fanfare. The fanfare to give us more mana to stack up our power. Since it is on sale, I'm going to keep it. But we'll see. With our moon shields, with our vampiric armor, we should be able to stack up a little bit more mana to potentially get a big mana buff bomb. But we should be able to get our 10 mana, give us some vulnerability, allowing us to heal up. But we are taking on Double Axe, who has a lot of damage. And have a lot of heal reduction, stopping us from healing up by quite a bit. But with a katana, we do reduce the scaling damage under Double Axe just a small bit. And I've been liking the katana more and more lately. Definitely so. But we got our Paradise Burb. And we could take another Maneki Neku to speed up everything again. How crazy would that be? Probably not that crazy. Let's also grab a small bit of storage. So I did want to take the fanfare. I'm trying to figure out where the frick we're going to fit it in, because where no story is just a small bit. We could place it to this side, place it in this position as well. We could end up taking out our box of riches. The problem is if we do place this over in a spot, it does mean our little chestnut is going to lose a ton of value. But with a Paradise Burb, we should be able to speed up both a Holy Spear along with a katana. We should be able to get more healing from a Nocturnal Lock Lifter. And we should be able to potentially duplicate our mana buffs. Which should be incredibly awesome. With our Maneki Neku, it's going to speed up pretty much our Paradise Burb, our katana, our Holy Spirit, our little chestnut, also our fanfares. So it's looking really awesomely. We got tons of little red rubies, which is perfect. But we are facing a cold stacking build. So I'm hoping that Holy Spirit in this position can cleanse those debuffs. Now it's not looking too bad. They don't have as much cold as I thought they were going to have. We got 900 max life. It's still going up. We have 1000 max life. We got a little bit of power. They are stealing a lot of our buffs though. But can we still win out? Because we're going to be taking a lot more fatigue damage than this Reaper. However, we managed to counteract the cold just a small bit. And just win out. Hell yeah. We could trade our fanfare for a big red ruby. At least that could be worth it because we will lose a little bit of mana, we will lose a little bit of power. Especially with our Maneki Nekus, I do like it quite a bit. But that's 8 gold and it's 25% increased healing efficiency. I think I gotta take it. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but I definitely think that's gonna be worth it. Let's grab the small gemstone. Let's roll for now. We do get our stone skin pot. We could trade a katana for a big old bloodthorn. That's the 700 ruby egg. We could have definitely went heat stacking. The problem I'm having right now is trying to fit in our stone skin pot with a vampiric pot. Which we could do something like this, which I'm down for, except our power to moon is getting a little bit worse and worse. Now this Maneki Neku isn't going to get increased speed since we did move our moon shield away, which is a little bit of a problem. But if you place it over in this position, it should be pretty decent where it is placed. So I think I'm just going to roll on for now. We definitely want more red rubies. We also get our little fanfare back, which I'm down for taking. Although you also really need to sit in that position as well. Let's roll once more. I was hoping to grab more red rubies, which we didn't get, unfortunately. And our Amulet of Alchemy is going to have to sit in this position to speed up our Maneki Neku. Now I do also want to craft you up, so I think we might really have to take out our Flawless Ruby out of our armor so we can craft up these gemstones. But let's get going once again. Actually, this Maneki isn't getting sped up, and now it should be. Gotta make sure they're all triggered, because that is going to give us a ton of speed on our katana. It is triggering every 1 second along with our Holy Spear, as well as our chestnut too. But can we take on, actually hold on a second, it should also speed up our relic case, which means it is going to speed up our scaling damage and how much stamina consumption it is used up also, which is really, really nice. So we should be able to get our scaling damage. We did get a big mana buff bomb, and we should be able to win out. We got tons of max life, except our opponent is going to be speeding up their whole situation with a Paradise Burb also. And once we enter Battle Rage, they're going to get a ton of mana, trying to get a big mana buff bomb once again. We have 2,300 max life, and it's still going up. It's looking incredibly awesome, and are actually stacking up an insane amount of mana. Well, it's not exactly what we wanted, but it is what it is. Now this is going to be a super long fight because they're stacking up a lot of spikes. They got tons of max life as well. They have insane buffs. We got a ton of healing. 3,000 max life. But they're actually getting their max life up as well. But a lifesteal and false life type situation, we should definitely be able to win out. And smashing. Almost 4,000 max life. Now we're going to place this back into our armor. We do get a bloody amulet. We could also take the eye lamp to scale up even more damage on our katana, which wouldn't be too bad. It also increases accuracy. Also, let's roll once though, and we'll actually grab you for now to speed up our Paradise Burb. We do place you in here so we get a little bit more vampirism off the rip, along with more lifesteal on our weapons. A little blue gemstone. Let's grab it as I roll for now. If we want a stone, we could have crafted up a stone skip plot if we had another one. And we could end up grabbing a second bird. Should we gamble for the Undead Amulet, or should we take the blue gemstone? Well, if anything, we're going to sell our box riches. Let's go ahead and grab this. Into Darkness. Actually, not terribly bad. Not insane either, because we don't really inflict too much effect damage. Now, you know what? Let's also grab another Flawed Sapphire. Now, it is going to be 50% chance ignore armor with another 15%, so about 65%. Which I'm not sure if it's going to be too crazy either. If I place you up top, yeah, it's not going to be good enough either. Now our Holy Spirit is slowly losing all the slots also, which is not so great, to be honest, because we're only going to destroy 20 armor on him. We're also only going to cleanse 2 debuffs. So I did move our Holy Spirit to the opposite side. I was going to move a little bit slower than our katana to stack up our mana, but I think that should still be okay. We should be able to shred just a small bit more block. But I think this is going to be our final setup. And what a crazy fun one, to a max life stack and a false life to a katana Holy Spirit combo. With Little Chestnut being the real MVP, stacking up our buffs incredibly awesomely. Paradise Burb to increase your healing efficiency, along with 3 Maneki Echoes to increase the speed of pretty much our whole setup. But let's get going with this for now. Is this really going to be good enough taking on another cold stacking build? So I'm glad we did slightly move our Holy Spirit over to try and cleanse some of those debuffs. However, that is a crow, which is going to potentially be inflicting an insane amount of debuffs. So we could still be in trouble. They're also going to be trying to remove a lot of our buffs. But can we still keep up? Because we do remove a lot of their buffs also. So as long as we don't allow them to stack up heat, which they don't have Misfortune to stack up that heat, so it's kind of nice. But that's a lot of cold still stacked up on us. We do inflict a small bit of cold with our Flawed Sapphires. We do kind of counteract with our Paradise Burb because it does speed up our weapon situation just a small bit. But that's 55 cold on us. So can we take on this Reaper's cold stacking? Now they also got Tim in their armor to resist 25% debuffs as well as crits. So they are resisting a little bit of cold that we do inflict with our Flawed Sapphire. But they have taken pretty much all our vampirism. But with our Nocturnal Lock Lifter, we still get some lifesteal. We also have 90% healing efficiency. So can we still win out? Because it's not looking too great right now. I think they've just inflicted way too much cold on us, unfortunately. Yeah, there's definitely no way we can bring this back. So definitely not So unfortunately, not the greatest ending, but Cold Stack and Reaper is still extremely strong. 30 DPS is about 23 DPS, which is not so great. But again, that's 100 cold on us. In terms of heals, 60 healing per second, but again, that's just way too much cold on us. And in terms of max life gain, we managed to get 542 max life. Definitely a stark comparison to what we had in the previous round, where we almost had 4,000 life. In terms of block, we managed to get about 314. So we just couldn't compete with this cold stacking build, but we did end up with 4 lives left, giving us a ton of rank points potentially. Plus 14, ranking us up a decent bit. But I am going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Now, can we take on Harold the Hateful Hat Nullblade type situation? They're going to be trying to remove a lot of our buffs. So we could be in trouble if they do end up taking a crazy absurd amount of our buffs. But I think we should have no problem, because they're also giving us a ton of buffs also. We already have 1,000 max life. Once fatigue hits, we should have double that. And it's looking pretty good. 2,400 max life. Tons of buffs. Now I'd love to get more empower, more mana, more heats. But we'll have to settle for vampirism. It just means every hit is going to be pretty much stacking up our max life by 100. 4,200 max life. It's still going up. Our opponent does have 1,200 max life, but it's not going to be close whatsoever. And awesome. And can we deal with double dagger ranks? Double dagger ranks to steal our buffs. They also have 2 artifacts, or 1 artifact stone heat to give them a bunch of damage also. They also got the ukulele to make them go faster with the ruby chunk. They're going to be trying to stack up their heat. They should be able to deal their damage right now. But I think it's too late on our opponent's side. Because we have 2,000 max life. And we should definitely be able to win out. We do reduce a lot of skilling damage, which is kind of incredible. And smashing. And finally, can we take on a lifestealing crossblade situation, trying to inflict a bunch of cold on us? Lifestealing crossblades is a ton of fun. But I think we should have the advantage by reducing their skilling damage with a katana while stacking up our own buffs, while also stacking up our max life. Now once fatigue hits, that's 3,000 max life, and our opponent still only has 200 life, but they're also going to have a ton of heals. They aren't running out of stamina though, and we could definitely win out.